It's been so hard to come up with a good theme for this week's video. Office lava. Okay, so to get to form simplicity, you're going to be logged into the MLS, just like I am here, and we are going to go to menu, and then right in the center column, right where you go straight down where it says applications, and then right on the second one under applications, it says form simplicity. Or in the search box, you can just type the word form, and form simplicity will be one of your choices. So you're just going to click on form simplicity. It's going to open you up and bring you to the screen, and this is the screen where you can start a new transaction or edit any transactions that you already have started. I don't have any right now, so I'm going to click on Start a New Transaction. There are two required fields, street address and transaction name. The rest of them aren't required, but they're a good idea to fill them in. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in an address here. And the transaction name, I usually use the people's names that own the property, but in your case it could be something different, so this is entirely up to you. You next have the opportunity to set a property type. It's not required, but you can set it. So if you just come here, you can say whether or not it's a residential, farm, commercial. So I'm just going to choose residential, and then I am going to set my property transaction type to listing. And then I'm going to click Create a Transaction. And I'll be brought directly to the Transaction Details page. This section of the page right here at the top is the area that you will be adding the information about your property. So right here in the left-hand corner, there's a blank photograph, but in that photograph, there's a button that says Update Property Photo. So if I'd like to add a photo of the property, I can do so here. To add details about the property, which I already have the address, which I put in previously. However, if I need to add the details manually, I can click the blue button here that says Show More Data. It's going to open up an area that I can fill this information in manually. If I would like to import this data so I don't have to type it all, I can click Import Property Data. And I'm going to click Import Property Data, and I'm going to be given two choices, MLS Search or Tax Search. So if the property has been on the MLS previously, I can just put the MLS number in here and then click on Import MLS Data. However, if you're like me, in this case, this property has never been on the MLS, I'm going to use Tax Search instead. All the tax data for Form Simplicity is provided by Metro Market Trends. And I'm going to click the Tax Search radio right here, and that's going to flip it so that I can now type in here. From here, I'm going to put in the address. Now remember, when putting in the address, less is more. You don't want to rule out your property because the tax record might have the suffix listed differently than you're typing it. For instance, drive could either be DRIVE or it could be DR. You don't really know how the tax record has it listed, so let's just go ahead and put in the street number, 10728 in this case, and then the street name. And let's not worry about whether it has drive, court, lane, whatever on it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the zip code, and then I'm going to add the county. The odds of a county having a street number with the same street name in the same zip code are very, very small. So I'm just going to do that instead. So I'm going to click Find Tax Data. And sure enough, I've only got one result. You might get two at tops, but it'll be easy to figure out which one is the correct one. And as I can see here, this drive north does match my property. So I'm going to click Select. And it's just going to give me a page and show me all of the tax data that I needed. And I'm going to click Save Info to Transaction. And that has saved the tax info record to my transaction. I can actually look at it by clicking the Show More Data, and I can see that the bedrooms, baths, the years, the parcel number, all of that has been imported. The form section is where I can add forms by clicking on Add Form, and I have a choice of from the blank forms library or from the forms packages. In my case, I just need one form, but if you need to get a package of forms, you could do it this way here. I'm going to click on From the Forms Library. I'm just going to open that up. And then I can go all libraries, Northeast Florida, Florida, or Fannie Mae. I'm going to use the Northeast Florida Association, and I am just going to type in listing and click the search button. Once I've done that, it's going to start giving me all of the forms that have to do with a listing agreement. I am looking for the exclusive right of sale listing agreement for a transaction broker, and I'm just going to check that box and then click Add to Transaction. And now that form has been added. If I'd like to upload my own form, I can come over here to where it says upload file and click on upload file, and then drag and drop that form into here and upload it manually myself. Be aware that if you haven't checked one of these boxes like this, so exclusive right of sale is now checked, print, email, e-sign, fax, all of those won't work. So the box needs to be checked in order for you to use these features up here. Also, if you would like to interact with this document, I can click on exclusive right of sale, just click on it as a link, and it's going to open up and allow me to start filling in. Now, it has gone ahead and filled in some of the information that I've put in, but I can still change that data if I don't like the way it's formatted or something along those lines. I can go through here and I can start adding my information to the document. And once I'm done, I can just click Save. I could also print the document if I so chose. If you have made a change on the document, for instance, allow me to make a change like, for instance, refrigerator. I'm just going to check that box. And instead of clicking Save or Print, I'm just going to click Close. It's going to recognize that I made a change. It's going to say, hey, you've made a change to this. Would you like to save it, or do you just want to close without saving? So just be aware that it does try to help you out that way. Next, going down, we have transaction participants, and this is where I can add participants to the transactions. I can add a buyer tenant information right here, or I can add seller landlord information here just by clicking on either of these links here. Next are tasks that I can add, so I can just click on new task and then put a description of the task in and the due date, and the system will remind me before that task comes up that I need to get that done. E-signature sections, we're going to have a later video on how to use the e-signature section of this, so look forward to that. Next, we have collaboration. So if you have a co-lister or somebody else that you would like to collaborate in the listing or in the transaction with you, you can add their name and information here so that you can share the transaction out with them and they can collaborate with you on it. Email history. So whenever you've emailed somebody information about this listing from the system, it's going to remember that and keep track of all of those emails that you've sent, so that if you need to come back and prove that you did send some information out, you have that ability right here. And then, of course, history down at the very bottom is going to show every time a change has been made to the transaction. This concludes our first video on Form Simplicity. Form Simplicity is a product of Florida Realtors. If you'd like to get some more help, give them a call at 1-407-587-1450. If you'd like to check out their website to get information and help from their help center, it's helpcenter.formsimplicity.com. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day, everyone.